Hello boys and girls. Hello boys and girls. I'm here to talk to you about subtracting two-digit numbers, and we're going to do that using dimes and pennies. So we're going to do this today and tomorrow during our Zoom meeting, so it's a lot to take in. If you were tricked today, if you're still having trouble with it today, don't worry, we're going to learn it again tomorrow to really practice it and make sure we understand it. So let's say we had 75 cents. How many dimes and pennies is 75 cents? 7 dimes, 5 pennies. Good. What if I wanted to take away 23 cents? So maybe I went to the store with 75 cents and I wanted to buy a chocolate for 23 cents. So I would have to take away 23 cents and give it away. How are we going to figure that out? Let's take a look. Oops. So, don't mind this saying on the top. That's something we're going to think about when we're subtracting. But right now we have 75 cents, and we're taking away, so minus 23 cents. Let's show that using dimes and pennies. So 75 cents we just said would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, so 5 pennies would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have 75 cents. Let's take away 23 cents. So how are we going to take that away? What do you think? Well, the first thing I want to do is take away pennies first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write out what exactly we are going to do. So we'll start with 75 cents, which is what we have here. We want to take away minus 23 cents. Now it's going to be a lot easier to see. We have 75 cents and we want to take away 23 cents. We always start with the pennies when we're taking away. Just like when we're adding, we start with pennies, we always start with pennies when taking away. So, here's what we do. We say 5 minus 3. If we have 5 and we take 3 pennies away, 1, 2, 3. Can we do that? Yeah. So now we have 2 pennies left. 5 minus 3 equals 2. Good. Now over here we have the 7 dimes. We want to take 2 away. 1, 2. Bye-bye. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 6, 5. So 75 cents minus 23 cents equals 52 cents. Good? Let's try another one. So, it's easy when you have a bigger number on the top, because then you can always easily subtract top minus bottom. But now I'm going to teach you about something called borrowing. When you don't have enough in the pennies column to subtract the top, or subtract the bottom from the top. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'll set it up for you before I turn the camera around. Erase, erase. So here we still have to start with looking at the pennies. And this is where that saying on this page comes in handy to think. The saying is called bigger bottom, better borrow. All B's. This is alliteration. Bigger bottom. So if the number on the bottom is bigger, we better borrow from the dimes. So the next number we're going to do is 60 cents minus 24 cents. So here's what that looks like. So again, bigger bottom, better borrow. We have 60 cents minus 24 cents. So here's how we'll write that. 60, we have 6 on the dime side, minus 24. Would you like to do this one with me? Alright, so 60 minus 24. If we have 60, that looks like 6 dimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dimes. How many pennies are here? Are there any pennies? No. Okay. So now we have to take away 24 cents. So we always start with the penny side. If we have 0 pennies, can we take 4 away? Uh-oh, we can't. There's no pennies to take away. So we have a bigger bottom. The top isn't bigger. We need the top to be bigger. If we have a bigger bottom, we better borrow. So if we have more on top, we don't need to stop. If we have more on the floor, we have to go next door and get 10 more. So here's what we do. I'm going to change to a different color so you can see it. Let's change to blue. So if I have 0 dimes on top, I need this to be bigger than 4. So what I do, I go next door to the dime side and I say, hey, can I borrow one of your dimes over to the penny side? Sure. So he's going to travel over and then pew, he splits into 10 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what that looks like on our page, we don't have 6 dimes anymore, we only have 5. So the dimes becomes 1 less. Now the pennies, instead of being 0 pennies, it becomes 10 pennies. 1, 0. So you have 2 options. You can either squeeze the 1 right next to the 0 to show that 0 becomes 10, or you can cross it out and write a 10 above it. I cross it out and write the 10 above it, but it can be easier for you to understand that really when you're taking 1 dime away, it's just adding a 1 in front of this pennies column. 110 in front of the pennies. So this pennies column will always just be this number of pennies with a 1 in front of it. So let's solve it now. If we have 10 pennies, can we take 4 away? Yeah. So we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So now we have 6 pennies left. 10 minus 4 equals 6. And then we have 5, 4, 3. We took 2 away. 5, 4, 3. So 60 minus 24 equals 36 cents. Thumbs up. So what I want you to do, I want you to take out this page. Oh, I already drew on that one. You're going to take out the page that we didn't draw on yet. Let me get mine out. This page, and we're going to solve that one on this page together. We just did it here. So we're going to solve it together. So you have this page ready, and let's start solving. You have your pencil. Maybe you already wrote your name and date on the top. If you didn't, that's okay. Actually, I already wrote the date on top for you, but /27/20. Okay, so 60 minus 24. First we look at the pennies column, which is right here. If we have a bigger bottom, we better borrow. So is 4 bigger than 0? Yeah, because if you have 0 pennies, you can't take 4 away. So we have to go next door and get 10 more. So we take, hey 6, can we borrow one of your 10s? Sure. So now there's not 6 10s. We cross out 6 and we write 5. We only do 1 slash through it. So it's an oblique line slash through the 6. And we write 1 less than 6, which is 5. So now that we have 1 less 10 here, this becomes 1 more 10. So remember I showed you could either write a 1 in front of it to make it 10. So now it's 10 minus 4. Or you can cross it out and write the number above it. For this one, we'll just write the 1 in front of the 0 to make it 10. We'll try both ways and you can see which way you like better. So now we can solve. We don't have a bigger bottom, we have a bigger top. So we're allowed to solve. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 10 minus 4 equals 6. And then over here we have 5, 4, 3. There's your answer. Good. We're going to try this one together. I'm going to show it on this board, so you're going to watch. And I'm going to slide over to this next problem. Take off my dimes and pennies. We have 74 minus 45. How will we write that? Well, yours is already written for you on the page, but 74 cents minus 45 cents. The first number that's listed will always go on top, because this is the number you're starting with, the bigger number, and you're taking away the smaller number. So it looks like 74 minus 45 minus 40, which is 4 dimes, 5, which is 5 pennies. Good. Now let's solve. What I do on this page, you can do on your page. So we have 74 cents. I'll show it to you with dimes. 7 dimes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 4 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we always start pennies. If we have 4 pennies, can we take 5 away? Do we have more on top? No, we have more on the bottom. If we have a bigger bottom, better borrow. So we better borrow from the dimes. If we have 4, we can't take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have 5 to take away. So we have to jump next door. And we say, instead of 7 tens, hey, can I borrow one of your dimes? Sure. So we cross out the 7, and now we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just one less. So we have 6 dimes. You'll want to write it kind of above it. I wrote my 7 a little too high, but write it more so above it. And now this gets to be 10 more. So it's like saying there's a 1 in front of the 4 to make it 14. 4 plus 10. So this dime went to this side, but we don't want dimes on the penny side, so we trade this out for 10 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we've got 14 cents. So you could either write the 1 in front of the 4, or you can cross it out and write 14 above it, because instead of 4, it's now 14. Now we can solve. We have more on top, so we don't need to stop and borrow. We already borrowed, so now we have more on top. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. 9. 14. Then we take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Now go to the dimes. We have 6. Let's take 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You have 2 left. So this answer is 29. So, hopping over to my page, 74 minus 45. Yours should look like, if we have a bigger bottom, we better borrow. If we have 4, we can't take 5 away, because we always go top to bottom when we're subtracting. Bigger bottom, better borrow. So hey, can I borrow one of your 10s, 7? Sure, I'll just have 6. And then 4 becomes 14. It's okay if you just wrote the 1 in front of the 4. That's also where you can do it. For this one, I'm showing you this way, because I showed you this way on that page. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. So here we have 52 minus 35. Let's try this one on this page again. 52 minus 35. So we have 52 minus 35 cents. So 52, 35. Okay, 52, we start on the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, 50 cents, and 2 pennies. Now we're going to take away 35. Start on the penny side. We always go 2 minus 5. If we have 2, can we take 5 away? No, we have a bigger bottom, so we better borrow a 10, because we can't take 5 away if we only have 2. So, can we borrow one of your 10s, Mr. 5? Sure. Goodbye. Now you only have 4. Now we add 10 more. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There we go. Now, instead of 2, we have, what's 10 more than 2? 12. Now we can solve. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 4, 3, 2, 1. What that looks like is 12. We take 5 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 2, 4, 6, 7 left. We had 4. We took 1, 2, 3 away. Now we only have 1 left. So 52 minus 35 equals 17. On our page, that looks like bigger bottom. Yep, 5 is bigger than 2, so we better borrow. Now we go 5. We always borrow from the top, by the way, because this is a whole number, so they need to borrow from each other. 5 becomes 4. I can't write it above, my date got in the way. And then 2 becomes 12, because we took one of our 10s away and sent it over here to help out the pennies. You're always changing the top numbers, not the bottom. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 4, 3, 2, 1. There you have it. So now down here, I'm going to give you a problem and you're going to try writing it in this space. So we're only going to do these 3, and then the bottom ones we'll use tomorrow as a review. So here, I'm going to give you a problem that you're going to write. I'm going to write it down on my page. So your problem is if you have 55 cents, I'm going to write down here 55 cents, and you want to take away 20 cents, where would you write those numbers? 55 cents minus 20 cents. Let me take all that away so it doesn't confuse you. So how are you going to write that? Using this space, we're on the top in the left side of the second row. Where will the 55 go? Good, it will go right here. So 55 minus 20. So that's 2 dimes, 0 pennies. Make sure your number's in the right columns and make sure you're writing neatly. And also, you don't want to have a big space between your bottom line and your first number, because then it'll just get confusing. So don't write them all the way up here. Write them down here towards the bottom line. Good. So now let's see. Can we solve this? 5 minus 0. Do we have a bigger bottom or do we have more on top? We have more on top, so we don't need to borrow. 5 minus 0, if you have 5 and you take nothing away, you have 5. Good. Now, 5 minus 2. 5, 4, 3. So 55 minus 20 equals 35. That was easy. We didn't have to borrow. Let's try another one. Let's try 87 cents minus 15 cents. Now, 87 minus 15, we're going to write that in right here. I'm going to slide mine over. Where will you write that? 87 goes first, so we'll say 87 on top. 8 times 7 pennies. And make sure you leave a space underneath for you to write 15. 1 dime, so the one dime goes underneath 8 dimes, because the 8 is the tens and the 1 is the tens. And then the 5 pennies will go underneath the 7 pennies. 87 minus 15. Good. Now we're ready to solve. If we have 7 minus 5, do we have more on top? Yeah, we do. So we can solve it. We don't have a bigger bottom, so we don't need to borrow. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. And now 8, 7. We didn't need to borrow here either. That's great. Let's try another one. This will be our last one for this lesson. So, what if we have 81 cents minus 44 cents? How will we solve that? We're on the last one in the middle of our page, in case you can't tell where we are. We're right here. So, 81 will go up here 8 times 1 penny, leaving a little space here for 44 cents, which will go 4 dimes, 4 pennies. Now, if we have 1, can we take 4 away? Do we have more on top? No, we don't. We have a bigger bottom. 4 is bigger than 1. If we have a bigger bottom, what do we need to do? Better borrow. So let's hop on over here. Remember, we're always changing the top numbers, not the bottom. So 1 says, "Hey, can I borrow one of your tens?" Sure. So 8 is no longer 8. He gave one of his dimes to the pennies, so it becomes 7. 1 less than 8 is 7. We took 1 dime away. Bye-bye. And he went over and gave his penny power, 10 pennies over here. So remember, it's like saying a 1 in front of a 1. Or, for this one, I think I'm going to... Can't find my eraser. For this one, I'm going to cross it out and write 11 above it. So when you're adding 10 more to 1, 10 plus 1 equals 11. It's okay if you already did the other way. Both ways work, but this is the way. I like to be able to see the number right here. So 11, we can solve now because we have more on top. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. 3. 37. Now the last thing I want to show you, 81 cents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 81 cents is the same thing. 8 dimes, 1 penny is the same thing as 7 dimes and 11 pennies. 7 dimes and 11 pennies equals 81 cents. So if this is 81 cents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81. If I take 1 dime away and change it out for 10 pennies, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's count. We have 7 dimes, 11 pennies. Let's see if that still equals 81 cents. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. What we are doing, we're making the same amount, but we're just changing out how many dimes and pennies we have. So we're not changing how much money it is. We're changing how many dimes and pennies we use to show that amount of money. It's the same number, 81, but just changing the dimes and pennies. We're changing the tens and ones, but it's still the same number. We just change the amount so we can solve it more easily. So, I bet you're a little confused. If you're not, great job, it all clicked into place. But if you're still confused, hey, that's okay. It's tough. This is next level stuff. You guys are so smart, so I know you're going to understand it. But it's okay if you don't understand it yet. On the page you're going to work on today, number 7, the last question, has 3 that you're going to practice doing this. It gives you the number 48 cents plus, this one isn't having you practice takeaway yet. It's still having you add. So perfect. You don't even have to practice it on this page yet. I thought it was having you subtract. So you don't even have to practice it on that page yet. But this page, let all that sink in. We didn't do the bottom 3 yet. We'll do those tomorrow when we practice together in our Zoom meetings. So I hope this was helpful, learning 2-digit subtraction using borrowing. And remember, bigger bottom, better borrow. Good luck.